All right. Hello, hello, hello. Good morning. It is Thursday, March 18th, and it is 5:30 in Phoenix. How everybody doing this morning? All right, y'all. Faith in full effect. I'm not going to be on here that long. I just wanted to get a few things off my chest because I've been thinking about this for a minute. For a minute. But first, hey y'all, this is my first time. I think I'm getting used to my new shift, guys, because I got my load delivered 2 hours ahead of time. So as we speak, I am parked and I am chilling. Yeah, pop my collar. I feel good about myself. All right. Yeah, so I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go off duty, go back here in the back of this truck, take a little nappy nap, and then carry my behind home. I love having a truck with a sleeper, with a bed in the back. It comes in handy, guys. It comes in handy. Even though I'm local, it comes in very, very handy. But yeah, I do a lot of things in my spare time to kind of, keep my mind off the craziness, with this pandemic, with all the crazy stuff that I'm seeing going on in the news. Like I just saw something in the news, I think it's yesterday, some guy killed, it was like a quadruple homicide or something like that. He killed his girlfriend and her brother and two other of her family members, and then he kidnapped the baby and ran, and it was all because he wanted a stimulus check. I think he wanted half of her stimulus check or something like that. Yeah, it was some crazy stuff. So I'm going to be doing content on that because, like I told you guys in the first few videos before this one, there is a bum rebellion out here. And see, a lot of people, when I called it the bum rebellion, there were your regular people that like to come in and go, not all, not all, Faith. You can't say all. Well, I didn't say all. I said bum. Okay. And this guy that killed his baby mother over a damn stimulus check is the epitome of what I'm talking about here with this bum rebellion. He's a bum. Okay. I'm not talking about upstanding black men. I'm talking about bums. And that was bum behavior. There's a bum rebellion. Like I've been saying, I've been ringing the bell on this for the longest. Okay, if you got people going around here, can't take rejection, hitting people upside the head with skateboards and biting their eyes out and everything else under the sun because they can't take rejection, don't want to hear no, that means there's a bum rebellion going on out here. How the hell you gonna kill somebody over a stimulus check? That's worse than people over here fighting over the income tax. Ridiculous. Yeah, but anyway, guys, I've been paying attention to a lot of stuff that's been going on here. And that's one of the articles that I ran across, and I'm going to do some content on that soon. But other than that, I just be kicking back in my truck, on my computer. This is what Faith do in her spare time, guys. I like to play Sims. Okay, Sims is like my guilty pleasure. Don't ask me why I like that game so much, but I just know that if I want to pass time, all I have to do is open my laptop and literally it'll be 3 p.m. when I start, and hours will go by and I'll look up and it's like 8 p.m., 7 or 8 p.m. That game keeps me completely and utterly just occupied. So I love the game. I love the game to death. And they actually got a lot of new packs on there. They got this new pack on there. I'm not really crazy about it because it now the Sims can kind of vote. They can take advantage of a voting process in the game. So they get these neighborhood action plans that get voted in, and they're crazy. Like they got this one action plan called rough housing approved. So if that goes through in the game, then what'll happen is your Sims will get into these random fights with other Sims, and it's completely legal. And see, I don't like it because I got these Sims, and my Sims can't fight. Okay, my Sims stay getting beat up. So they're walking around dazed because they done got beat up on, and I'm afraid somebody's gonna kill my Sims with this rough housing approved action plan. So now I'm trying to get my Sims to, convince the other Sims in the neighborhood to repeal the process, and then my Sim has a restaurant. And so what I do is I go to the restaurant, I try to upgrade the services and the decor and all of that type of stuff in the restaurant. And what happens is all of a sudden, all my stuff that I bought for the restaurant suddenly starts to disappear. And I'm looking around and I'm like, what the hell? I just paid like 15,000. I put $15,000 into my restaurant trying to make it better. And now all of a sudden my stuff is disappearing. But come to find out, this new game pack that I bought, another one of the neighborhood action plans that can be voted in is this thing called what do they call it? Sharing is caring. So this is an action plan where people can just take your stuff, okay, and it just disappears out the game. And the only way for you to, keep them from taking your stuff, because basically it's an action plan where stealing is okay. So the only way that you can prevent it in the game is you have to put like gates around your house and lock all your doors and all this other crazy stuff. So it's kind of bumming me out for the game. I think I'm gonna uninstall that particular service pack. I feel like I wasted my money now. But yeah, anyway, I'm rambling on about the Sims. What's up, everybody? Let me get right into what I want to talk about here. Let me put my glasses on so I can see the people coming in because I'm blind as a bat. Yes, I am. But the title of the video, while I'm over here rambling, is why he switches up on you. Okay. I'm Allison in Wonderland. I do believe that the Sims can learn to fight. Now, somebody told me that if I worked on their fitness skill, then they would win more fights. So I guess maybe I need to let my Sims go to the gym and pump some iron or run around the block or something. Because my Sims don't work out. They too busy working. They're like me. But yeah, anyway, let me just get on into it. Let me get on into it. What's up, SKC? Long time no see. Thoughts on border immigration? Yeah, you know what? I was watching that on Fox News. Like, hold on, I'm gonna get into the title because you know what? If Donald Trump was still president, we would not be sitting here with this crisis at the border that's worse than what it ever was when Trump was in office or when Obama was in office. They said that this new influx of immigrant is worse than it has ever been in 20 years. And see, now the Democrats, they're trying to camouflage it, so to speak, as if it's not a crisis. They're stopping short of actually calling this a crisis because they know that Biden's policies, all the policies that Trump had put in to stop this from happening, this very thing that's happening now, Trump had policies in there to stop this from happening. And Biden came in and undid everything. Okay, so now we got this super crisis. This is what I'm going to call it. I call it a super crisis because now we got more than ever more immigrants coming in on the southern border. And it's all Biden's fault. He basically put out the dog whistle for them to come. So, all the black people that voted for Biden, okay, yeah, he's trying to replace you, okay, with the new what they call it, model minority. The new model minority. What's up, Chef Disaster? What's up, the underrated darkness? I see everybody filing in here slowly but surely. Yeah, I'm going to get to the topic, but SKC brought up a interesting topic about thoughts on border immigration. Yeah, I do believe that if Trump was still in office, we would not have this influx that we have right now. And thanks to all of you people that voted for Biden and also the Democrats cheating, yes, I said cheating on this last election, now we have this great crisis at the border, and it's only going to get worse. Crime is going to go up. There are not going to be any jobs for you Negroes, okay? And they're definitely going to come in here and drive down the wages. Okay, right now in the trucking industry, they're getting into the trucking industry, they're taking cheap freight. They're already driving down trucker wages in here. So you guys sitting up here, wanting to embrace everybody and put everybody under this lovely rainbow umbrella and call everything discrimination when it comes to other groups and they never speak up for you. This is this is going to be your reward, okay, for kissing everybody's ass. Okay, this is your reward. Chef Disaster said niggas knew that. Right, Chef, you know what? I can't for the life of me understand why we even vote. I mean, we would have been better off not even voting. But we went out and purposely put somebody in office that did not have our best interests in mind at all because we just couldn't get over the fact that we think Trump is racist. Okay, yeah, Trump is openly racist, but at least he has some kibbles and bits laying up there on the table for us. Whereas the Democrats, they didn't offer us nada. The only thing they said was if you black, vote Democrat. And then they did a jig and all this other stuff. Kamala Harris can dance. Kamala Harris, half breed, high yellow. We love to see her in office, even though she ain't gonna do nothing for us. Kamala Harris, a sister. Then as soon as she got voted in, all of a sudden she went back to saying she's an Indian. Yeah, so much for the sisterhood, right? Yeah, but that those are my thoughts on that. I could go on and on and on about that, but that's not what this topic is about, guys. Don't get me talking about politics up in here. But once again, the title of the video is why he switches up on you. And the reason why I wanted to bring this to the forefront is because I notice a lot of times that there are men that run around here and they like to, play Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Okay? They like to play Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde with you. And when I say this, I say that these guys, they first come to you with their representative. And I talk a lot about representatives here on this channel because these are men who are wolves in sheep's clothing. But are they really in sheep's clothing? Because in my opinion, these guys don't really do a very good job of hiding who they are. A lot of times we know exactly who they are by how they treat other people. And I'm going to give you a real good example of what we as Black women do that I think is utterly disgusting. I think this is disgusting. Okay, I'll just use social media for example, because a lot of the most heinous and disgusting stuff is on this platform. I would see Black men on this platform who are openly, disgustingly against Black women. They are openly and disgustingly saying derogatory things about different Black women all the time. They treat certain Black women terrible. They drag them, talk about their looks, asking them what their dress size is, call them baby mamas, and They're going to die the cat lady, et cetera, on and on and on. Nothing but abusive language. And some of you women, some of you ladies, some of you females see the behavior that these men have towards these women, and some of you have even experienced it yourself. But the more arrogant, the more full of himself the man is, the more you seek validation from that man. Hence why many of you always calling in to Kevin Samuels' show. Kevin Samuels is a perfect example of what I'm talking about here, because it don't get more arrogant than that. So a lot of times, when I say wolves in sheep clothing, I have to really question, were they wearing sheep clothing? Because a lot of these wolves come dressed just as they are, as wolves, and you still ignore the sign. The number one thing I can't stand about the sisterhood, or the lack of sisterhood, is the black women that like to run around here with the mentality of, he ain't talking to me. So as long as he ain't talking to me, he can mistreat her and I'll overlook it. As a matter of fact, that must mean I'm better than her, because he's talking to her like that, but he won't talk to me like that. And see, I want to kind of break down that mentality, because that's somewhat of a silly way to think, because then you get with these guys who have very clearly shown you who they are and how they treat other people, but you get with them anyway because you say to yourself, oh, he's not treating me like this. Here's what happens. He's nice to you. He's talking sweet to you. He's whispering sweet nothings in your ear for the time being. Chef Disaster said, right, Faith. DA says, bingo, Faith. This is how they end up baby mamas 2, 3, 4, etc. Exactly, DA. Exactly. And once again, for the time being, he's being nice to you because what? He wants something. Now, you're going to ignore the fact that he's arrogant. You're going to ignore the fact that he's nasty towards other people. You're going to ignore the fact that he pretty much, has these horrible traits, these horrible characteristics that he displays towards others. But because he can rein it in when he wants something, i.e., your vagina, you're going to overlook how he treats other people. This is why I scratch my head when I see certain female YouTubers consorting with such men. This is why I scratch my head. Yeah, I'm using social media as an example because this platform has yielded a lot of great examples of women pretty much getting kicked in the ass for ignoring obvious signs that these guys have been putting out, that they have bad characteristics. Now, if ever there was an argument for you need to choose better, well, let's go ahead and look at what we got right here on social media with these people hooking up with these people and then getting mad because they find out that they're assholes. Well, didn't you know they were asshole before you hooked up with them? And see, the signs are always there. And this is how I know that there is something to the fact when these guys say you need to choose better. Because right here online, I am seeing you all not choosing better. You're not even choosing better with the people you even align yourself with in these YouTube streets. DA says they think she deserved it or did something to deserve it. Exactly. And I'm going to get into that. DA, you are well ahead of my commentary. I'm going to try to keep this short, okay? Because I just got off work and Lord knows I need to get my sleep. But I'm gonna try to keep this short. I might open the panel up for a little bit, and then after that, I'm gonna have to shut it down. But yes, DA, they think that the woman deserved it or did something to deserve it. These are men that have something within them that makes them dislike women, and it's always stemming from something that's happened to them personally. And so they want to take this out on every woman they meet. Every woman that has this characteristic, they want to take it out on her. So here you are thinking you're special, but you're really not. You're not special. He's just setting you up for the kill. So this is why he switches on you, boo, because you ignore the signs. He switches on you because he was always that way. You sat up there and watched him on a panel cussing some woman out. You sat up here and watched him on a panel talk about how he wants financial abortion. You sat up here and watched him on the panel talking about pump and dump. And then you still gave him your number in the back chat. Why? Why do y'all do this? I don't get it. But then you'll turn around and swear up and down. You'll swear up and down that these guys are dogs, that they just fooled you. Oh, he fooled me. I thought he was so nice and he was so good. Girl, girl, you got exactly what you had coming to you. You saw him saying all this stuff. You saw him doing this to this other woman. And yet your pride, your big ego got in the way. And you thought to yourself that you were better than that other woman because he wasn't doing it to you for the time being. That's what happened. Your ego got in the way. Why they switch up on you? Because of your ego blinding you to what he is actually sitting up here doing plainly in your face. She who sits up and says, I am better than that woman over there because he did not dog me out like he dogged her, will end up in the same position shortly. It always happens to you guys. Always. Chef Disaster says, I don't understand why women talk with the type of guys they do, knowing he ain't no good. Chef, you know what? Gluttons for punishment. They're gluttons for punishment. That's all I can say. Because I sit up here and I see people, forming these relationships online. And I can see the train wreck about to happen. Okay? So you got her sitting up here talking about beta male coons, and then he's the beta male coon that she's talking about. And they get together. And I say to myself, okay, how you sitting up here talking about beta male coons, and then you get with a beta male coon, a known beta male coon, a known womanizer. Yeah, he got a little swag. He may look a little cute to you, but girl, didn't you see him dogging that chick out on his last panel? How the hell you talking to him in the back chat? See, and this is what's happening in these back chats too. See, the chick that he dogged out, she don't like that bitch. Let's just keep it all the way a buck. She didn't like the chick that he was beefing with. So now they in the back chat together talking about the chick that he dogged out and laughing about it. And laughing about it. See, if any of this sounds familiar to any of you listening, I'm talking about you. Yes, I said it. Because you all get on here, you get in those back chats, and you start kiki cawing and talking about the chick that he put on blast. And then next thing you know, somebody is taking the tire iron to somebody's car because he done cheated on you in real life and dogged you out in real life. And now you can't fathom why he switched up on you. It's me. I ain't like these other females up here. Your ego got in the way of your common sense. Ego is a hell of a drug. You actually thought you were better than the woman that you all were sitting in the back chat, kiki cawing and talking about? You didn't think that he was going to turn around and do you the same way in some different form or fashion? He may not have did it on a platform, but he's going to eventually do it because it's in him to do it. DA says men advocating for financial abortion should be a red flag. A lot of men have red flags. One content creators encouraged 3 women to have abortion, and he makes videos ranting against single mothers. Exactly. These guys are not wolves in sheep clothing. These guys are wolves in wolves clothing. And you women see very well who they are, and you still get with them. You put them on your panels. As a matter of fact, some of you women collaborate with these men to set up other women you don't like. And you think for the time being you're safe because it's not happening to you. Like they won't eventually turn on you. And see, it's mighty funny to me when they start turning on each other. And I've seen men get caught up in the crossfire too. There was a guy that really, really supported a certain guy and his female popular avatar friend, and they both ended up turning on him. These are wolves in wolves' clothing. These are people that have been dirty and low down in your face, and yet you still sniffed up, followed up behind him like the Pied Piper playing his flute. You're like the little mouse following behind. Long as the song sounds good, long as that swag is there, long as you can get some kind of social currency from associating with this person, you will overlook that he's a piece of shit. So I say, whatever happens to you, goody goody. Yeah, Chef Disaster, and talking to a man after he doxed another woman. You know, a lot of that goes on here, but I'm just using social media as a micro example for what actually happens in real life. And this can also be applied to real life, with you females ignoring the signs. And then you're wondering why he switched up on you, why he went from Dr. Jekyll to Mr. Hyde, or vice versa. Some of you know full well these people ain't shit, but you will still get with them anyway, because there's some sort of social currency in your mind attached to being with this miscreant, this Pookie, this virtual Pookie and Ray Ray that you get with. And all of these guys are virtual Pookies and Ray Rays. Some of them don't even show their faces. Some of them do. It don't matter whether they show their face or don't show their face. It's the actions that they take upon being on this social platform that I look at. And the character of a person speaks volumes. That's the reason why in the last video that I did, I said the reason why a lot of you cannot find a good person and have long-standing relationships with good people is because you yourself are not good people. It takes one to be able to identify one. And if you are superficial in your thought process, then you are going to gravitate towards such. You're not going to appreciate a man that is boring, that just goes to work every day and comes home and gives you all his attention. You're not going to really appreciate that because there's not enough swag there for you. There's not enough excitement there for you. And on top of that, he's not going to be disrespectful to that bitch down the street that you don't like. See, you like the guy that's openly, how can I say, he appears to be funny. This is the jokester. He's cracking jokes all the time. He's always playing the dozens with people. These are clowns. These are straight clowns. But the clowns make you laugh. You get a temporary feeling of being a kid again around them because they like to play. And they will run and laugh and play with you and make you feel like you're in on the joke for the time being. And then when they get done laughing and playing with you, they revert back to who they really are, the wolves. That wolf you saw wolfing down on that other female, he's going to begin to wolf down on you now. It's all temporary. DA says pretending to be nerds or good men that were ignored. DA, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Like I said, I'm trying my best with my commentary to be nice and not name names. But yeah, they come on here, they pretend to be nerds and that they're good men that the women just, overlook, and then they go on their platforms and they spew hatred 24/7 about the women. They're fat, they're ugly, they're this, they're that. They put on their best Mr. routines while they're on their platforms. And then they have certain black women on these platforms that they will semi be pleasant to for the time being until they meet up in the back chats with them, and then they get them to come up out their clothes or send them a nude and all this type of stuff. And then as soon as the women do what they want them to do, they done traveled all, well, not traveled, they done flew them out. Because see, the smart ones, they know to fly the women out because the women always show up. You send them a plane ticket, they behinds is getting on that plane because half of them ain't even been on a plane before, and they're gonna go. And as soon as these women do go, get on the plane, fly, or whatever, next thing you know, they getting dogged out because you done gave them what they wanted. They were nice to you for the time being until they finally got what they wanted. Then you got these women sending nudes to known doxers. These are guys that you go to their channel, they have whole beef videos up talking about other people, saying their whole government name. And you go, ooh, it's going to be a great idea for me to send this guy a new picture of me. Who he makes me so hot and horny. This be y'all. This be y'all up in here. But y'all got the nerve to tell me that I don't know what I'm talking about. Y'all got the nerve to think that you better than me because some Pookie and Ray Ray, the online Pookies and Ray Rays paying you some attention, and now this makes you better than me. See, the reason why the online Pookies and Ray Rays talk about me so bad is because I'm not stupid. Now, the women that they dog out, those are the women that are not stupid. Pay attention. Those are the women that they will ream out online because these are the women that will tell them they're full of shit. And these are the women that ain't going to send them no nudes. These are the women that ain't going to jump on no plane to get flown out just so that they can get talked about later. That's the reason why they go off on women like myself. It don't have nothing to do with us being fat or perception of what we look like or anything. Because best believe, if you were to tell them to go take a hike, you'll be fat and ugly too. But because you're actually entertaining their nonsense, they're going to be nicer to you for a little bit longer until you send a nude or until you get on that flight and take your little silly behind over there. And some of you all are getting beat up during the sexual sections and raped and everything else. Oh, it's a hell of a lot of shit that came out in these online communities. And then you all got the nerve to sit up here and act as if you don't understand why it happened. You're sitting up here consorting with the worst of the worst for validation. And you're not even paying attention of who you're trying to get validation from. Now, women that are already validated, these guys will attempt to bring down their self-esteem and talk about them like dogs. Can't bring down my self-esteem. I am self-validated. You can't tell me shit about myself. So they always gonna hate me because they ain't gonna get me on no plane, and they definitely ain't gonna get me to send them no nudes and no back chats. But your dumb behind, thinking that you getting some kind of validation and one up in the next female, you're gonna be the one dumb sending nudes and hopping on flights and getting beat up during the sexual act, getting beat up. You're the ones that's happening to. Now, who's smart and who's dumb? I wonder. Bro Speak says, don't forget the ones that worship females until they don't get what they want. Exactly. Oh, yeah. Bro Speak, you ain't said nothing but a word. I've seen that too. There are many different tactics that these guys have used. And I've sat over the years and observed these tactics. And I can't knock they hustle because it actually works. These females be on here falling for it hook, line, and sinker. And these are not uneducated women. These women are educated. They have very good jobs. They have very good careers. And yet they still need validation from these Pookies, and these online Pookie and Ray Rays. They still need that validation. Now you can set up here and you got educated, you got this great career, you can come online and you can discuss all manners of different topics very intelligently, yet you can't intelligently realize when you're being played. And I just sit here and watch and marvel at it. I marvel at it. It's easy for me to identify men who are on the up and up by their actions. So this is why you will not see me consorting with such online. I will not consort with those type of men. Once you show me who you are, I believe you and I wash my hands of you and quickly get the fuck away from you. Bro Speaks also says, that's why I told you I trust no black leadership, online or otherwise. I get you, bro, because I'm the same way. I don't think that we can. It's too many fellas out here that have just perfected the art of sending their representative out and then morphing into the wolf that they actually are. And some of them don't do a very good job. It's like I said, some of these guys' reputations precede them so badly that you'd have to be a fool not to know what they're about. But like I said, you still got women calling in to the Kevin Samuels show. And this is a man that's angry with you because he's not you. The reason why Kevin Samuels goes so hard at these women, I suspect, I don't want to be sitting up here, getting caught up for slander, but this is my suspicion. I suspect he goes so hard at these women because of the same way that the trans men's go hard at black women. Because they want to be you. And they're jealous because you're their main competition. For some of these guys, they don't like you just because you are a woman. Period. And deep down inside, they want what you got. Good morning, Love Wisdom. Sister Love Wisdom down there looking just as gorgeous as ever in her avatar. I love the new avatar, Love Wisdom, looking beautiful. But no, DA, I don't feel sorry for the women that appear on this channel either because they ask for it. They ask for it. They know exactly what to expect when they go on there. So yeah, this is exactly why they end up switching it up on you. Because you, in your desperation to be validated by a man, regardless to what type of man he is, that's the reason why he switches up on you. You knew in some way, shape, form, or capacity that that could happen. But because your ego is bigger than your common sense, you went on ahead and rolled the dice anyway. Now, here's what I want to say. If you genuinely want to be in a committed relationship that's built on a strong foundation, you cannot build a relationship off of a foundation where you're just looking at a man's money, where you're just looking at a man's swag, and you're just looking at a man's sex appeal or his penis size. These are all superficial things that is a very shaky foundation to build a relationship off of. And those relationships and marriages don't last long because after a while, your true intentions come out, you're really with him for his penis. Now, what if the penis all of a sudden gets erectile dysfunction? Now you're stuck with his character. Oops, but you didn't really like his character. You only like the 9-inch penis. That is a shaky foundation. You only got with him because he was so-called high value. He had a lot of money. You were getting the bag and you were leveling up. Oops, now he made a bad business venture and he's bankrupt. All his money has went patooey down the drain. Now guess what? You're left with his character. But oh my goodness, you only got with him because he had money. You hate his character. Guess what? That relationship was built on a shaky foundation. The people who put character and compatibility first are the people that stay in long lasting, loving relationships. And part of a man's character is the fact that he has a desire to be able to provide and protect his family. That's part of his character. Being broke and not willing to provide and protect your family is bad character. So you need not worry about money if you're looking at a man's character. And no, strength is not him tearing down other women that you don't like. That is the sign of a bitch ass nigga, actually. See, some of you got it twisted and confused. Only bitch ass niggas sit around arguing with women all day. I don't know no man that can be taken seriously and who is seriously about his business that got time to be sitting on land arguing with women all day. So you see, all of you women that are sitting up here validating these men by giving them your precious time and energy, you all got it wrong. But then you come to me and you try to say, I don't know what I'm talking about. Let me tell you something about faith. Faith has been in loving, long lasting relationships. The last relationship I had lasted over 10 years. After my husband passed, I was in a relationship that lasted over 10 years. My husband and I was married for a long period of time before he passed. So no, I don't get no flash in the pan treatment when I do decide that I want to settle down. And I don't make my decisions lightly. Like I said, it take a hell of a man for me to want to give up my freedom. And I mean that. And you should mean that too. But instead, a lot of you are just scrambling, trying to get with a man, any man, just so you can feel covered and validated. So when I see men like Kevin Samuels and the ilk that follows him praising a certain woman, best believe, best believe that woman has low self-esteem to be allowing herself to even be in the presence of such vermin. The men in my life who do prop me up on the pedestal, and yes, it is okay for the men in your life to pedestalize you, but it's what type of man is pedestalizing you. If I'm being pedestalized by a Pookie and Ray Ray, what does that say about me? Pookie put me up on a pedestal. I don't think I'm feeling too good about that pedestal because Pookie is a moron. But if a real man that's about his business is putting me up on a pedestal, your Denzel Washingtons, your who else? Dr. Claude Andersons, men of that ilk that have solid character. Now, if that was the type of man that was propping me up on a pedestal, I would feel good about it because that is the type of man that's going to look deeper than what I look like on the outside, and he's going to look deeper than some booty and some titties and all this other crazy stuff that you men talk about. He's going to look way deeper. Those are the type of men that have the insight to know what an actual good woman is, inside and out. And so I would feel honored to be honored by men like this. But if you're being honored by Pookie and Ray Ray, you need to re-examine your life. Because there's a reason why Pookie and Ray Ray boosting you up. It may be because you're a mammy. You're an enabler of their bullshit. If Pookie and Ray Ray boosting you up and giving you accolades, ask yourself, did you enable them to dog out another woman, maybe? Did you co-sign their little financial abortion thing? Did you sit up here and commiserate with the fact that they are deadbeat fathers that don't pay child support? Because if you did, that's the reason why they're boosting you up. You're mammying, or you're enabling. See, anytime you guys hear the word mammy, just know that mammy is interchangeable with the word enabling. These are the female enablers of nonsense in our communities. And so you'll know them by the type of men who sing their praises. DA says women should take their time and examine the men they are entertaining. Exactly. And DA, thank you so much for that comment because that segues me into my next thought. Women taking their time to examine the men they're entertaining. Now, if you ever get into a relationship, and this has happened to me on multiple occasions, because a lot of times these guys will know that you're a good woman. And when they know that you're a good woman, here's what they will do. They will rush you into a commitment because they know they don't want you to find out about them before you make the commitment to them. So they'll rush you. These are the guys that will get you pregnant. These are the guys that will hurry up and rush you down the altar. They'll say something like, "Oh, you know what? I love you so much. I can't wait to just plan a wedding. Let's just go to the justice of the peace." He ain't even bought you a ring. He done went and bought you a ring off wish.com and rushed you over to the justice of the peace. Because he rushing you because he don't want you to find out that he's a piece of shit. And this has definitely happened to me on numerous occasions. The rushing. Hurry up and get with a man. Hurry up and get married. Hurry up and give them sex. Hurry up, hurry up, hurry up. They're rushing you for a reason. Don't let nobody tell you that you got to be in a hurry to make a decision. It's the same way as if you go into a Chinese shop and they say hurry up and buy. Take a good look at the merchandise first. It may not be worth it. Let's see. I got 17 of you guys in here. Please don't forget to hit the like button. I think I'm going to open up the panel. I'm going to go ahead and drop the link here in the chat room. So anybody listening to me, if you want to come up and if you have any comments that you would like to make on the topic that I'm talking about right now, go ahead and get the link. You are more than welcome to join me. Yeah, I got time. I'm off work, so I'm not going through no mountains or anything. I'm just sitting here chilling, talking to you guys, and my connection is good. It's not going to go out, so I got time. Today I got time. Let's see what you guys are talking about. DA also says, oh, at Bro True, women shouldn't accept a man who panders to them. There should be balance. Women will reject both types, those who criticize a lot and those who pander a lot. Exactly. Uh-oh. All right. What's up? I got Bro Speak in the house.
Hey, what's up, Faith? How you doing?
I'm doing good. I'm feeling pretty good today. How you doing?
I'm all right. Can't complain too much. Yeah. So I saw the topic, and yeah, I see this a lot, and I see a lot of these guys who really that it's like they go so hard for women, and I'm like, okay, I get it. There are a lot of things that women have gone through, and particularly black women have gone through in this country. I guess from their own men. But I always temper that like, okay, you're going this hard. What's the reason for it? And then when you really look hard at this guy, you say, oh, okay, he had a failed relationship. Oh, this chick left him when his money ran out. She left, and now he's blaming himself instead of looking at the whole totality of the relationship. Now he's going after all these guys, and when you look at the content that he had before then, he wasn't on none of that. And so now he's just switched it up. I'm like, okay, you see that this dude is pandering to you, right? But you got women who will support him. You got women in the chat will support him. Yeah, tell that manosphere guy. Like, okay. But meanwhile, this dude is clearly showing that he's just pandering. And he's pandering to your needs. But meanwhile, this is the same person who's trying to rush you, not only to himself, but also to different races of men.
Yes.
And I'm like, and he's putting those races of men above himself. And I'm looking at it, I'm seeing this, I'm trying to say, hey, look, this dude is paralyzing a group of men above himself. He's paralyzing you above himself. This is not a dude you're going to need to, this is not the dude you're going to need to be with. He's going to turn on you. Because if the right situation comes, he gone. But But trying to tell somebody that, oh, you being a hater, oh, you just jealous, oh, you this. I'm like, I'm not jealous of no man on YouTube. Never can be and never will be.
But yeah, that's exactly it. People want to silence you and tell you that you're being a hater when you're telling the truth about certain people and certain situations that you are observing. And it's not anything that, you're lying about, because later on down the road, when everything comes out, this person that you just warned this person about, they done told everybody that this person sent them some news online and all this type of stuff. They trying to get at them in the back chats and all this type of stuff. Then the female sits up and starts crying, and she, won't come back to the forum for months and months because she's embarrassed because this guy done outed her. And I see this a lot on this public platform. These women have to go on hiatus because they done dealt with these no good online. I call them online Pookie and Ray Rays. They done sat and laid down with these dogs, and now they coming up with fleas, and they got to go get washed and cleansed all of a sudden. So they got to go on hiatus because they too embarrassed to show their face. It's ridiculous.
Exactly. And then and then they're gonna blame the manosphere for it. I'm like, oh, no, I'm sorry, chick, that's you. That's your fault. If you let this dude con you into doing stuff like that, thinking that this is gonna be your savior, I mean, hey, I can't blame the guy at that point. You can't blame the manosphere at that point. No, that's on you.
No.
So I mean, you got to take that L. But you know how some people do. They don't take accountability for their own actions. They want to blame everybody else, and then they keep making the same mistake over and over and over again. And at that point, people just get tired of it. Be like, okay, we can't have you around us anymore.
But now, bro, speak. Do you have children?
No, I don't have no children.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. That's good. It's a good thing.
Well, to some of my coworkers, that's a bad thing because they like, you ain't got children at your age. I'm like, no. Uh, I tried, with my ex. It wasn't in our cards, and I'm not about to be a baby daddy to any random chick. I'm very selective on that. So no, no, I don't have no kids. No, I'm not in a rush to get married again. So that's just the way it is.
Well, the reason I was asking is because a lot of these guys that's on here, with the bad rhetoric that they have online, some of them are fathers, and some of them have daughters. And I
Yeah,
and I wonder how they would feel if somebody played the same games with their daughters that they play with these women, out here, whether it be on YouTube, online, or out here in the streets. 'Cause they're out here in the streets playing games with these women too, because that's the reason why they are baby daddies. And that's the other thing. They talk about baby mamas whilst they themselves are baby daddies.
well, you know what those guys turn into?
What?
They usually turn into the pandarus of black women because they know how they were in the past. So they want to make sure that somebody come get their daughter.
Yes.
But what the problem is that they really don't school the daughters well enough because they've been out doing their thing, and the daughters end up with the same type of dude they were, and then they be mad. But it's like, well, hey, karma comes back on you. I'm sorry, that's just the way it is.
Well, you got men on here, saying that their mothers and sisters are whores. They're openly calling their own women in their family whores and sluts, just so that they can continue their talking point. And see, a man like this that'll throw their own family under the table. I don't understand how these women can do content with these guys. I don't understand how these women can go on panels with these guys or be civil at all with these guys. I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm. Well, it goes back to one is the ego, two probably money. 'Cause, some of these content creators who really go hard in the paint against women, they do have a following, and then they get a lot of cash app. So a lot of women see, hey, that's a money opportunity, and money trumps a lot of people's scruples and their values. So there's that, and then again, I told this on another panel. Some of these females are just attracted to those guys. They're just attracted to them for whatever reason, and so that's who they hang with. But then when they eventually turn, like I've seen, uh, what can you say? And here's the even killer part: they go back. They go right back to that same person who's turned on them. And I'm like, man, that's why I can't take some of these people online, the men and the women. I can't take them seriously. When I hear them talk, I'm like, okay, one ear in, one out the other. It is what it is. It's just all talk. You're
It
trying to keep
is.
your audience. You're trying to keep your audience. I get it. I'm not mad at you. I'm I'm not gonna hate you. I'm just gonna just look at you and just be ashamed of our people. That's why I always am. That's why I'm the individualist out of everybody. I'm not a community person. Because I know that most people they're going for self interest, self desires, and they will hang with anybody who fits those needs. And then when they betray them, they're not gonna hold themselves accountable. They're gonna hold other people, and it's other people that ain't done nothing to them. They're gonna hold them accountable. Well, you should have protected me from this guy. I'm like, no, you shouldn't be running around with this guy. You saw how this was. You saw how that was going to end. You seen how he did this other woman. You seen how he just constantly praising females, even the ones that's undeserving of it. You seen how that go, but you thought you can get something out of it, either some peace, some money, or just attention. And then when you don't give them what they want, then they turn. It's just the way it is.
Exactly. Exactly. But I want to say shout out to Love Wisdom for the $20 cash app. She says 100, 100, 100. Thank you, sis. I really appreciate it. But bro, speak. I'm gonna go ahead and get ready to shut it down because usually, this is my sleep time. But I had to jump on here real quick and have this talk. But brother, what kind of advice would you give the ladies out here when it comes to vetting these men and what they ought to be looking out for? I'm gonna go ahead and let you have the last word.
Okay. Number one, you really need to look at this guy's background. You need to look at this guy's dating history. You have to look into it because I it look into the dating background. Look at how he acts with other females, online and otherwise. Because like you said earlier, if he's just attacking females ain't done nothing to him. that's a big red flag. If he's going after other guys hard, I'm like, guys, just just for no reason, just rah against other guys, and some of the guys, okay, some may deserve it, but other guys who ain't bothering you, just going hard in the paint, that's a big red flag. And also, here's another thing: when he's putting you on a pedestal above himself, not and it's undeserving. I'm talking about he's putting you above a pedestal to the detriment of himself. That's a big red flag. That shows a person that has no confidence in himself. And you really need that one is the most, I would say, out of every man, that is the most dangerous. Because if you don't do what he wants you to do, whether it's sex, money, or you just decide, you know what, he's he may not be what you want. That one's the most dangerous because he is putting his life for you. He's trading his life for you. And when you disappoint him like that, he is very dangerous. And all kinds of stuff can happen to you. You can get doxxed. This is dude's gonna stalk you.
Mm-hmm.
Other things. And you know, again, when men that you trust are telling you, I wouldn't hang around this guy. I wouldn't want him around me in any capacity. Please believe those men, men that you trust. I'm not talking about guys, some goofballs. I'm talking about men that you know and trust. When they're telling you that this male can't be trusted by them, do not trust them. Do not give your body to them. Don't give them no time because it's going to come back and bite you. And it might you might be in a situation where people can't save you from. So that's all I can give you for the women. Okay, that that's some friendly advice. And this is a
You
guy.
that was all we needed right there, because that's 100 100, and I'm going to expound on that in my final thoughts. But bro speak, I do appreciate you for coming up here, brother, and blessing us with your wisdom and your knowledge. As always, it's always good to hear from men, talking to women from a male point of view, because you know other men. So of course, with you knowing other men, you can tell women best what to look out for. So I appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming up.
No problem, Faith. And again, ladies, this is out of love. I'm not trying to demonize y'all, but I can't let y'all go out like that because I love black women. I have my issues with y'all, but I love y'all all the same, and I want the best for y'all.
All right. Well, thank you so much, bro. Speak, please come again. All right, and yeah, I wanted to expound on what he was saying about men putting you up on the pedestal, and it probably being because of his low self-esteem. That's something that I forgot to mention earlier as well. Now you do have that element out there as well, and that is truly the wolf in the sheep's clothing. Now that's where the sheep clothing come in. Now you got the wolves that are in wolves clothing. They ain't hiding anything. They have pretty much showed you and everybody who they are. And then you have the actual wolves in sheep clothing. And like Bro Speak says, these are the guys that are gonna hoist you up on the pedestal, and they're gonna give you all these accolades, and they're gonna tell you the best things in sliced bread, and they're gonna be the yes man for you and all this. But here's the thing. Are they hoisting you up on the pedestal because they see you as a trophy? And see, this is one thing that you got to really be very aware of, because guys that only view you as a trophy, You are not human to them. You are an inanimate object. Okay? You're an inanimate object for sex, and you're an inanimate object to boost their self-esteem so that they feel like they the man in front of other men when they're with you. And the minute something happens where you fall short of being a trophy, he will discard you. And so that's when you'll start seeing Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde come out as well. Like, say, for instance, these are the women that were dime pieces when these guys got with them and they got pregnant and gained weight. And so now that look changed. They're no longer the dime piece. They're no longer the woman that he can brag on and on about that she's bad. Because now, you done had that baby and now you just got a bad body, but it's not bad in a good way. And once you fall short of that, that's when he's going to start mistreating you because now you no longer serve the purpose for what he got with you for. That is the reason why I tell you, I try to warn you, but you all try to say Faith don't know what she's talking about. Yes, I do. Get with the man that loves you for who you are, inside and out, but mostly inside. Character and compatibility. What do you and this man have in common? What do you enjoy talking about? What do you guys enjoy doing together? Do you share the same principles and values and morals? These are important, way more important than looks, money, swag, all of that. Way more important. So if any of you are just getting in here, please, I'm going to end this video, but you definitely want to catch this on the replay. A lot of gems dropped here. But until next time, this has been Faith in the Morning. And as always, you all are the real MVPs. And I am so happy to be on here with all of you and sharing information. Until next time, peace.